You guys may get maybe finding that people are hitting you guys up from other direct selling companies. Just don't do it, right? So I'll tell you guys just a rule of thumb. If you're a tab team member and you actually engage in any of their direct selling companies, Herbalife will cut your distributor. So just don't be like surprised. Like, it'll be like someone's like, oh yeah, you can sell these candles. And you're like, oh okay, cool. It sounds great. It doesn't sound like anything to do with Herbalife. Herbalife has nothing to do with candles, but it's direct selling. They'll cut your membership, right? So first, I'm gonna tell you guys my membership cut because people are always trying to recruit me to other businesses. Right? They would love to take me and the rest of the team to another business. And that's not gonna happen. Right? I mean, I say this all the time as I pray to one God. I only do this. Right? So just know that. Just be aware of it because sometimes things don't look like direct selling, and they are. You're like, oh, that's not a direct selling company. It's an app. You're like, no, that's actually a direct selling company. So if it seems hazy, ask more questions before you start to maybe get into something. Right? You make it clear? I just want to protect you guys because watch out for people because people jump ship. Things get too hard and people jump ship. So just be able to cover that. Okay? I'll go into this, and so a lot of the training, I'm really going to ask for feedback from Dean and Alicia, just based on the fact of there's going to be things again I'm not going to remember. But I will set it up for you. So I had a great question this week. The person that asked me, I thought it was an incredible question because they asked me, well, Khalil, I heard you last week say you had 40 clients. Like, how do you actually work with 40 clients? That just sounds ridiculous. You know, it sounds like that doesn't sound real. Like, it almost seems ridiculous. So I asked the question here, who has had 10 clients in a month? Okay? So how do you look at maybe 15 clients in a month? 20? 25? Okay? 30 clients in a month? Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to manage 30 clients. Okay? So that's the number that no one's in. I've had 40 clients in a month. I think I have 41 clients total in a month, right? And then you're like, well, how do you manage that? So a lot of the managing is this first and foremost. Okay? If you've never had, it's like managing money. Okay? Anybody ever had $1 million? No, I never have. Okay? I don't know how to manage $1 million. If someone goes, if I ask a millionaire, how do you manage $1 million? You're gonna say first to me, what? Make $1 million. Right? You can't manage $1 million if you don't make $1 million. Does that make sense? Right? So when people, and someone's like, well, how do you manage so many clients? Well, first and foremost, you got to get them. That's probably the biggest part about it, because you can't learn how to manage it. Like, I asked Judy Schlese, how you manage a baby? We don't know. We know in a couple weeks, right? They don't know yet. So it's almost like you can't know until you go, right? You can't know until you actually go through that threshold. So managing clients for me is honestly one of the biggest things I learned, is especially I'm going to teach to you as though I'm full-time, not at Herbalife. I'm full-time at my job at Chase. I'll sit behind a desk, okay? So this is when the business began. You guys have heard this before, and again reminded me of this, that I always say I have wellness profiles from 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, every single day. And she's like, well, no one knows how you got those there. All right, so I'll tell you guys the story of the wellness profile. We all know there's so much that goes into it. You guys know, obviously, talking to people is a big, big deal. This day, 4 years ago, I joined social media. Today, I joined Facebook 4 years ago. All right? So I told Alicia that, because it was funny, because I kept getting all these things. It was like, today you became friends with Laura Holloway. I was like, all these friends in one day? Like, what did I do? I joined Facebook 4 years ago today. Stubbornly, reluctantly, everybody got crazy ex-girlfriends. I got a few of them. Okay? Probably was maybe more than that. But anyway, with that being said, I reluctantly joined Facebook, and so that was the beginning of the frenzy. Talking to a lot of people in my first results. So that's why the beginning of your journey is so powerful. And also just keep in mind, if it's not the beginning of your journey, you're hearing this for the first time, you can get a chance to reinvent yourself. Right? So I joined Facebook today. It's just crazy that I'm talking about this today. So how I was able to acquire all those wellness profiles was I was actually talking to one person. And that's all it was. I mean, it's not like you can do more than that. You can kind of just, I didn't put a new picture up. It wasn't like all of a sudden I popped up and no one saw me for 4 years and I had abs. I was the same person. It was the same exact picture. I think it was actually a picture of Carrie and I, right? I still was real leery about people knowing what it was. So I put a picture, kind of put it on him a little bit. So, so I posted a picture and people were just like, hey, Khalil, welcome to Facebook. Oh, good to see you. I didn't know where you were, where you live at now, all those questions. So that was great. What I was doing, though, was just talking to one person because I honestly didn't know what I was talking about. You know, I didn't have a clue. I knew what I was doing. I knew what I was taking, but I didn't understand how to tell somebody else. I just knew what I was doing. So how it grows from all these wellness profiles after work on a Thursday or Tuesday or whatever is because I was talking to one person. And one person, I would get them incredible results, and they would bring another person. Right? Sometimes you think about it like, oh man, I'm just going to go out in the ocean, just use this huge net and get everybody. It's not how I work. Right? I fish with one lure. I cast out every single time. It's very methodical. Again, this whole idea of slow is fast is it's methodical. It's not this, I'm going to catch everyone in the net. It truly isn't. Now, you can go out and still, And you can put a lot of bait in the water, right? I know Michael Greer's out every day, fly, do this, insert, right? Nikki's out all the time doing this. That's still, she's still nonetheless, her and the downline, Keisha and Michael, they're out still doing it, whoever else is out doing those things. You're still actually fishing with one line at a time. You may be in front of more people, meaning that you are fishing in a more stocked pond. Does that make sense? More density, meaning more opportunity to catch more fish, but you're still fishing one at a time, right? You're still like, well, I still need to talk to this person and do this thing. And the whole process is still very much effort of doing like the casting and get people to understand what you're doing. So how I got to the wellness profiles was actually talking to one person. I would give them incredible results, and they would bring another person. You guys know that 1 can turn to 2, you guys know that, right? And then 2 can turn to 4, right? 4 can turn to 8, 8 can turn to, well, going and going, right? So what was happening is I was doubling my time with people because I was just working with one really well. And I could really truly care less who fell off or who didn't do well. In that time of starting the business, one thing I want to make clear is that for those who listen to the Wellness Profile once or twice, I think it's great. I'm going to tell you guys what I was doing, do whatever you please. Jake Dwyer had a Wellness Profile that was once a little media player. You guys remember those little terrible media players? You click on it, brings you to the other site. It's like a little tiny media player. Every single time I got in the shower, and I shave Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay? We're going out, Alicia, I shave Saturday. Okay? So I make sure I'm shaving. So I'm in the shower for a good amount of time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Now, every single time I took a shower, every time, I would open the media player, I would tap to my bros too, and I would listen to his Wellness Profile over and over and over. I listened to it so much that I knew when he was pausing or when he was making a joke. I could almost emulate what he was saying, right? Because I don't think I'm that good. I can just copy people really well, right? If I watch you do something once or twice, I can copy. Right? There's a mechanism in the brain that says if you watch someone else do something, you watch a person make a shake and you never made a shake before, the brain actually puts you in their position, right? Chimpanzees, higher level primates, all that, have this ability to be able to copy someone. So what I did was I just copied him. But I copied him and said, well, these are things I found that don't work or haven't been working for me. Because the way it is when the profile was just a little bit different. And I said, man, I keep wasting all this time and I get to the end and nobody wants to do anything, right? I was like, this is not, you know. So what I always do is like, you guys hear me talk about dating, all right? Dating, I go, this is dating 101. The first thing in dating is attraction, I would say. No one goes, oh man, that person's got a beautiful mind. You go, the person's beautiful, right? So the attraction is dating. And what I wanted to do is make sure I became attractive in what I was doing, not in the sense of physical, but what my responses would be once I got someone on the wellness profile. So we all know who's better in a better position. Either you tell me, okay? The person calling or the person being called, who's in a better position? Person being called, right? Because you get a chance to actually listen to them. So what I was doing was trying to make sure I set myself up to be receiving more than I had to keep going out, right? So if I worked with one person, they would tell another person. And what would happen is that my popularity would start to rise. Okay? That makes sense? You guys, my popularity started to rise. You guys have seen it a million times. Right? So my popularity started to rise. With that being said is that the 1 to 2 would happen. I was working with people so sternly. They started to develop to the point where, and this is what I urge you to do. If you say, oh, you know what, my wellness profiles are very strong, or let's call it my closing percentage is really weak, I'm just going to tell you that you're not watching the wellness profile enough. And you don't have to watch mine. Do whatever you want. I personally feel like you guys are the best wellness profile in the world because it's over time it's been effective. It's like taking 0.02 seconds off your time running. Like, it's the tiniest thing that you get to continue to master. And what you find is that if you start to not do well in your wellness profiles, watch the training video. I'm going to tell you, for a whole month, I would watch the training constantly. And it was 2 months, I was watching the training constantly. And Alicia would be like, how do you know the wellness profile so much? Because I made it my craft, right? Some people want to get to the promised land, they want to do certain things, I want to be the best at this, and they refuse to put time to their craft. How hard is it for you to be in the shower, go to YouTube, or however you have the video, and play every single time you do it? It's not that hard, but most people are just too damn lazy to do it. That's just the truth. No, I'm too lazy. I'd rather do this, right? I'd rather listen to music. Well, that's great. Just know you're not going to master your craft. You can master listening to somebody else's music that's $1 million artist, but you won't master your craft. That's cool. That's cute. It's never going to happen. So what I would suggest to everybody is master your craft. Learn what you're doing because the initial thing, if your wellness profile is trash, the rest of your business is trash, right? It's going to be trash. So starting that off is going to be big, and so I had to come up with these ideas of what do we do, how do we set the tone with people early, because for me to get 40 and be able to keep 40, I can't just be lackadaisical in my approach to what I'm doing. It was intention, huge intention on what I'm doing. So the wellness profile starts off, and it was more so about me managing people because I had limited time. right? So who's full-time in their job, not full-time with them? Okay? You have a job, right? Not this, okay? Great, so you're not full-time. Those people are not full-time right away. I'm going to tell you why that's so valuable, because when you're not full-time, you actually have a limited amount of time, okay? The actually more limited time you have, the better off you do with that limited amount of time, typically. If you knew you got a weekend, right, what we all do before our work, you got a weekend, you got 2 days, Patron shots all day long. Let's get to it. No time for drinks, baby. Cut the water. No soda. Straight shots, baby. Let's get to it. I got 2 days, baby. I got 2 days. Back on desk. Let's get it on, baby. Right, so it was constant. And you know what you do? It's like, it's the principle that work expands to fill the time available. Right, that's the principle. Work expands to fill the time available. So if you have all day long, guess what you're going to do? You're going to take all day long to get stuff done. That's how it works. So I was setting up the wellness profile, and I was like, man, it's just not working. The reason that the 4 agreements came about, because I wanted to make sure I wasn't wasting my time. I only have a certain amount of time. I also need to go make sure I'm actually getting some me time. And I'll spend some time with Alicia. She had just moved to Arizona. So I was like, I got to figure out something, because either we're going to be not together, because I'm going to be spending all my time on the phone. Blame you, man. So with that being said, so the agreements were for me to get people off the phone. That's the truth. Okay? The agreements were for me to get people off the phone as fast as possible. I know it sounds crazy. Like, why would you want to get someone off the phone? Because I don't have time to play games. Especially in the beginning, my cold march, my circle was my people, right? So people would call me up and they'd be like, oh, Khalil, how you doing, man? So good to talk to you. Man, how's so-and-so? How's your aunt? How's your grandma? Hey, man, what's going on? I know your time is limited, so is mine. I really want to make sure I get this done like now, because everyone, the first people that you talk to, it's just not to begin your journey, or when you talk to a friend, they want to talk to you about being friends, like what's going on. And you want to be balanced with it, but I was like, I'm wasting my time. I'm talking to them about the game we played in '99, and we won, and how many sacks we had, and next thing I know, he's like, all right, man, I'll talk to you later. I was like, I did nothing with my business, nothing at all. Thank you. So I did nothing with my business. I just had a catch-up session. So I started to have these agreements so I would be in a position of, let me get this done real quick so I don't waste my time. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, the first one is prep, so preparation. The first one's prep. So preparation is the first one. And when I do ask these questions, you guys know about this. You guys have heard this before, take it in again. In preparation, I ask these separate questions. When I first get on the phone with someone, I want to make sure that I'm asking them the questions, because I want to get them in a position of me working with them as fast as possible. Hey, what's going on? Nice to talk to you. I know your time is limited, so is mine. And usually what it is between like Facebook, Instagram, or text messaging, I'm building in these urgency words. Like, hey, I know Tuesday at 5 you can talk. I know you're really busy. Right? I'll put it on them. Like, I know you're really busy. We're gonna make it. We'll make it quick. We'll make it prompt. I actually have an appointment after yours. I always talk about that. I have an appointment after yours, and I always make sure my clients call me. Always call me. I always say at an appointment, this is something I do. I never, ever call my clients. Never. The first one is called, I don't call them. Because in the time that they talked to me, they were attracted to me, right? You're in a bar, you see a girl you like, you got to go talk to her, right? She's like, oh, he's attractive, right? You got to go talk to them, right? So I want them to be attracted to me. Once I knew they wanted something from me, or they seemed interested, I started at that time reeling them in, right? It's like this subtlety in language that can get you everywhere or get you nowhere, right? So I started to use words like, I know you're busy, so I'm lying. We'll make this really, really prompt. I have an appointment after yours. We'll make sure we're getting on the line. I'll be in traffic, or when I be home, when I walk in the house, I'll make sure it's done anyway. Whatever you got to say, right? But I always said an appointment after, because in the beginning I didn't have an appointment after, but as I got stronger, I actually had an appointment after. And I was urging them to call me, because I would say, hey, the person that I have a call with before you, the call at 4, whether it was real or not, the call at 4, the lady is really long-winded. Make sure you call me at 5 so I can get off the phone with that person, right? It's simple, right? But you guys hear how I'm like making this whole timeline like this? I'm just making them like, this is how much time you have. And if you want to work with me, this is how much time I'm going to give you. So make sure you call me at 5. The appointment before yours, the lady's really long. She's super long. So I would get them on the phone. They would already know that this is not a game. Like, we're not going to catch up today. We can catch up later on. I'm going to become great friends with you later on. But today we're doing business. So once they call me at 5, I always thank them. Thanks for calling at the right time. I appreciate it. We'll definitely make sure we get this done. So good to talk to you. So I want to let you know something. I want to let you know a few things before we get started. Otherwise, I can't help you, or I don't know how to help you. Okay? I want to let you know a few things before we get started. Or I can't help you, or I don't know how to help you. Okay? If you guys are trying to take notes and don't have paper, I would trust to get paper, because you're not going to keep it, unless you're Einstein. You're not going to keep the information. So with that being said, I will let them know, I want to get started. So I asked them a question, there's a few things I'm going to talk about. These are the agreements. The first thing is preparation. And I will go through preparation. All right, I will go through consistency. I'm not going to go through this whole thing because you guys can watch the video, arguments this month. But I want to make sure I set up the listening in the sense of what it is, like how to make sure that you're funneling your time well, especially if you're full-time, you got kids, you got a family, you got other things you do. You probably only have this much time. If you're wasting it, catching up, giggling and sniggling on the phone, you're like, yo, we never got anything done. All right, so that's the point. So once I got one client, and I'll tell you guys what's happening right now, okay? So and I was able to get 7 clients. I have three VIPs that are really ordering. I have 2 people that should turn senior consultants this month, which is great. I mean, I haven't been in this frenzy in a long time. It's actually really exhausting. I forgot how much the frequency and how much you have to do in that time. But when you learn it, you can actually be passive in your approach, right? Passive in your approach. So I'm going to jump in. If you find something, Alicia, anybody that has been around, right? If you guys hear something like, oh yeah, mention this too, mention that too, remind me.
Actually, can you do the 4 and explain how you do each one separately and why they need to be answered?
Sure. You guys find that value?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. Yes. So when I do preparation, my penmanship is there. Okay, so everything I write, this is how I write in my wellness profile too. Okay, let's follow. Okay. So preparation is the first one. So when I will always approach, I go, awesome, it's good to talk to you. So there's a few things I want to make sure we talk about before we get started. There's 4 agreements that we must agree to, otherwise I don't know how to help you, or otherwise I can't help you. And I will say, I'll put it on me. I just simply don't know how to help someone who can't do these things. So if you're serious, these are 3 things I'll ask you. I go, so the first thing is going to be preparation. Preparation is bake, boil, grill, steam your food for the week. I don't need you to be some kind of bodybuilder or carry around your food every single place you go. What I need you to do is make sure that you prepare your food for the week. Simple protein, let me tell you, I was a bachelor for a very long time. All I did was put my chicken in the oven. I would make some asparagus or whatever it may be. That was it. I would just prepare my food for the week. Every single Sunday, you're going to send me pictures of your food, right? You guys are ready for it? You guys know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What? What was that?
No. No pics, no prep.
No prep.
Right? No pics equal no prep. Okay? No pics equal no, I say that instantly. No pics equal no prep. That means if you didn't send it to me, it didn't happen. You did not, it didn't happen. Right? Nope, didn't happen, didn't believe you. Because you took all the time to prep your food, you at least take the picture. Right? And the first, what I do is when I talk to them, anyways, let me get to it. Okay, so I ask them about prep. Okay? Prepping your food, bake, boil, grill, steam. Those are my rules, right? Make sure you send me a picture on Sunday. Okay? And I say, awesome, how serious are you about prepping your food? And I shut up. Nothing. I don't say anything. Because this person that talks first, you lose all that you built up in this. Right? You said all this stuff, right? You're like almost like you're afraid that they will answer the opposite. Just listen, just be quiet. If you're not that good at being quiet, press mute on your phone. Right? Just press mute on your phone, right? Just put mute on your phone and go, great, I'm just gonna wait for them to talk. Because that's a question then. And it's asking the right way, how serious are you? Right? How serious are you about prepping your food? And they'll always answer, well, yeah, I can do that. I can definitely do that. That's enough of an answer for me. Great. Right? And each one of these things is represented as its own item. Right? I never go, can you prep your food? Can you be consistent? Can you be committed? Can you follow up? I never ask that question because they're going to go, yes, of course. I ask them in separate ones. This is the first one for me. The next one is great. So you open up, prepare your food. The next one is, can you be consistent? And what I mean by consistent is that, can you be consistent on prepping your food? Can you be consistent on making sure you're following your plan? Can you make sure you're going to be consistent on doing this for 30 days? Hear me, 30 days. Some people go, oh, I'm going to change your life. They just finished coming from McDonald's. They just had a Big Mac. You're talking about changing a life that might be too much. Just talk to them about the 30 days. 30 days. Right? Sometimes you got to feed people with a small spoon. I'm going to change the world. Everything will be different. You can go and listen to Jim Rohn. It's going to be your man. Like, what are you talking about? They came to you for one thing. Give them that thing. Right? How consistent can you be on following your plan for 30 days? That's all I ask. I even said in this part, I go, how serious can you be about following your plan for 30 days? I go, listen, if you hate it after 30 days, quit. No problem. I'm letting them further know that I don't care if they stay or not because it's not of my making. I did not choose this for them. All I am is a vehicle for them to get there. I didn't choose anything for them. I go, great, you can do it for 30 days? And I talk to them about 30 days only because all I care about is them getting you 30 days. Only 30 days. All right? They came to you for a result. And they may say, I want to lose 100 pounds. I don't care. Can you do it for 30 days? Because they can't do it for 30, guess what? They want to do it for 60. They want to do it for 31. So all I care about is the first 30 days, personally. Okay? Whatever you want to do, then do it. Okay? 30 days. Can you be consistent? I'm making sure you follow your plan for 30 days. How serious about being consistent? Answer the question. Great. Awesome. Moving on. The next one is committed. How committed can you be to be consistent to prep your food? How committed can you be to be consistent to make sure you're doing your 30 days? How committed can you be to be consistent to make sure whatever, right? How serious are you about that? Give me the answer. Okay? And the last one I go, awesome. So this is one of the most important ones, and it's follow-up. Follow-up is going to be major. All of our communication will take place over an app called Voxer. All of it. Okay? The second that conversation starts, the next time they talk to me, if they text me, I don't respond. My response is Voxer. Literally. They text me, I text them back, Voxer. They text me again, I text them back, Voxer. You will do this or get off the boat. It's okay. I don't need you. You came to me for results. Okay? And it's a certain posture like, damn, Khalil, you're so cold. No, I'm so right. Because if they wanted something from me, they would come get it. Everybody knows that. You got to do the work. So I'm asking them to just follow in my plan because guess what? I'm still full-time at Chase, and I have a brand new girlfriend that just moved here from out of state that gave up her life. I want to spend some time with her, so my follow-up got to be right. That's more important to me than this. Right? No one of these clients is more important to her, to me. Right? So I got to be serious about my time. So if you don't get Voxer, we don't talk. My mama is on Voxer. Right? I'm just keeping it real with you. My mom's on Voxer. Right? I'm not saying that I'm not going to talk to my mom. It's a different story. but she is on Voxer. Ask Carrie. She's on Voxer, and she's nice with her Voxer game. Okay? She's one of the best. Okay? So I always ask them, follow-up's going to be important. Okay? Follow-up's going to be important. I go, we are going to follow up.
Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. We're going to follow up Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. I go, awesome. I go, how serious are you at setting appointments? I go, awesome, it's great. So what I want you to do in your phones, when we hang up, I want you to set your alarm to follow me Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Hear what I'm saying to you. Follow up with me. I got 100 kids to worry about, 100 clients. I can't go get you every time. You have to be committed enough to come to talk to me. That's all I'm asking from you. So in this mind, keep in mind, someone asks you, how do you manage 30 clients? By setting them up. This is every single thing to everything you do. If you bring somebody in too early, they all of a sudden get their discount too early, guess what they're going to do? Bring people in too early, give out the discount too early, and you got a whole line that's rogue, and you wondering why is my one leg of my business so shaky? Because you chose to not do this simple thing. 30 days, get a result. Make sure they do every single agreement. Right? And every month that I don't feel necessary that they have done everything, they get another full month of retail. And most of my clients are 2-month full retail. Most of my clients. I'm just tell you guys, I'd rather build my house on stone than sand. Ain't nothing wrong with them paying the retail for 2 months. Who cares? If you're going to be around, right, if you're going to marry your significant other for the rest of your life, what's 2 months of dating? What's 2 months of making? What's 2 months of dating? Probably not enough, right? What's 2 months, right? Okay? Fellas, ladies, make them wait. Okay? Make them wait. Give them 2 months. Yes? If you stick around, might be right one. Right? I'm telling you, give it up too fast. Does that make sense, y'all? Yeah. Everybody been there before? I'm not the only person that's out in the club all the time. Right? If you give it up too fast, people go, it's not of value. No thanks. Why would I stick around if it's not value? They all got to do this for 2 months straight. And I'm telling you guys, every single person from me personally, every person, I don't care what they tell me they do. They're Mr. Olympia. They do CrossFit. They run every weekend. I'm a weekend warrior. I play semi-pro ball. Everyone said that, right? I didn't make it to the league because I hurt my knee. Everybody does that. Let me tell you why I didn't make it to the league. I wasn't good enough. Period, right? This is what it is, though, okay? I'll start people off with this because this is how I customize the nutrition after this. I want to know how their body responds to 2 more places say loss activator herbal tea. I can't really know what their body's response to if I put them on 2 meal places, say, let's like made a herbal tea, repair, rebuild, Shazandra, Rose Guard, Mega Guard Plus, joint support, herbal lifeline. Right? You're like, damn, what happened? Well, I don't know. I put them on all the products the first day. They just feeling good. They don't know what's working. Right? And you might go, well, why 190 when you can get more? Because I'm not worried about getting more. My goal is to date you for 2 months straight, and this is what we do. This is our agreement. Now, after this, I get to talk to you about how's your circulation. Has your body been bloated? Because we can talk about immunity. Are you having better rest? Are you restless that night? Are you sore? Now I can add stuff to their plan, but they know, I know going into it, this is all I'm talking about. For 2 months straight, this is what they do. I don't care. Because if it's over time, if I'm with you for a lifetime, what's 2 months? It ain't nothing. Who cares about what 2 months? They're like, well, I'm trying to get them to do the 260. I hear that all the time. I look at them like, why are you trying to do 260? Now, you can talk about the 260 and say, I'm not going to put you in that plan. I do that often. I talk to 260, talk to 260, or
275.
275, 275, I talk to 275 over and over and over and over. I go, you know what, let's just like 190. It's hearing, right? I set you up to say 275, and I go, you know what, let's just put you on 190. You're like, oh yeah, that's no problem. But 190 is no problem. No big deal, right? So it's how you say stuff will get you everywhere in what you do. These agreements must be done.
What if they say no
They say no, I go, awesome, it's good to talk to you.
to any of those?
They go no to any of them. I go, great, it's good to talk to you. I talk to you soon, let me know your 6. They end the conversation. There's nothing more than say, great, it's good to talk to you. Well, so it's really good to talk to you, man. Well, let me know when you're serious. I'm definitely here for you. I would love to follow you. I'm going to be the best support system I can offer for you. We got a Fit Fam group. I can join you. I can have you see that page. Follow me on Instagram. When you're serious, man, holla at me. Yo, it's really good talking to you. All right, yo, I'll talk to you soon. Done. Finish the conversation. Because I only have, great question, I only have a certain amount of time. If we're going to play games, I'm not down to play games with you. We got to be serious about what we're doing. Be intentional about your intentions. Right? Well, why not? You have a question?
Can you just tell us how you work in the 275? Because from what I understand, we basically don't say price until the very end.
Yeah, I don't say any price. I would usually talk to them about I usually say my basic and my basic plus, right? I go, I got this basic plus plan, they go, this, da, 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 da. I'm like, well, and I talk to them about what it is. I say what it is per day. I actually say it's 275. I always say the per day cost, right? So let me make sure I back that up. Great question. I always say the per day cost before I actually get to this number. This board is so hot. I always say the per day cost always.
And what they're going to get.
Right? So when I talk to them and they ask me, I go $6,033 a day. You're responsible for the real food. I'm going to provide everything else. I'm going to provide the meal replacements. I'm going to supply. Great. I'm going to supply the meal replacements, the enhancers, the coaching, and the follow-up and accountability. Right? Now you guys know that coaching says all those things I just said, right? But I say all those things because the more things you hear, the more things you're getting. Right? Someone goes, oh man, it's a TV. It's color. You're like, oh, all TV is going to color. It's like the 50s. Right? They don't have no rabbit ears. It ain't fuzzy. You're like, that's normal stuff. You tell me normal basic stuff that's about, yeah. But it's hearing. It's hearing. It's just saying the right things. It's just saying the right things with people so they understand. Everything is based on how we hear things and how we see things. So they say, no, I'll cut the conversation. Did you ask me something else though? Oh, yes, that's 275. So I talked to them about the plan as far as the per day cost. I'm like, it's only $9 a day, only $9 a day, only $9 a day. I'll keep talking about it. And then I get to them and go, you know, just honestly looking at everything, I don't think necessarily you're in that plan. Let's just put you to $6.33 a day plan. It just still goes to 2 meal placements, the same also you made herbal tea, you still get all the coaching. What we'll do is we'll rank you up after this first one. And then they go, oh, okay, well, $9 or $6, they always like, oh, yeah, I'll take that one. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, you talk to this one, and they get that one. Right? So just watch when you guys go to the movies. They'll talk to you guys about, oh, you want the medium? They go for 75 cents more, you get the large, right? It's almost like they devalue this one to make this one better. Does that make sense? So I always give people 2 options, but I talk about this one, I go back to this one, if I ever do it. Sometimes I just go, this is it. I ain't talk to anything else. Anything? So,
What is the timeline?
I don't. It depends. So what Carrie's referring to is timelines. I used to do it in the beginning. I don't do it anymore, to be honest with you. If you're a new coach, I would say do it just so you're getting better at it, so you can talk to people about it. What Carrie means by timelines is I used to ask people to map out their day. So from the time they woke up to the time they went to sleep, what they ate and when. What they ate and when.
This is after they've agreed?
Yeah. What they ate and when, okay? I would ask them this question. I don't do it anymore. Okay? I'll be honest with you, I don't do it. I would ask them because I want to know what they were doing throughout the day. I just don't care anymore. All right? It's like if your team that you follow hires a brand new coach, you could care less what the coach did before. I'm like, great, that's awesome. This is a brand new coach account. I could care less about any of those things. So I used to ask them what they ate and when. Just because I want to know if they ate within the first 30 minutes of it, which 99% of my clients do. Were they eating every 2 to 3 hours, on these blocks? Like, were they eating like this? Because if they were, then I know I was going to have, I have a person that's pretty serious. But I stopped doing this because it doesn't matter. I throw the old playbook out anyway, so I don't care about what they did before, because it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to give you the new plan anyway. And a lot of times what this would do, if you need this, if you want to do this, I believe there's a part in the Wells profile that talks about this. But what I was doing essentially is finding out what they did. So they did say that they woke up and they were like, I don't eat until later. The first thing I have is Starbucks. I'm like, okay, great. Right, so what I was doing in my mind was calculating what they were doing. I said, what'd you have at Starbucks? I had a muffin and a coffee. Okay, great. So I'll go, great. At that point, I don't need to even ask them anything else about their day because I already won, right? $6 versus their $9 breakfast. I won already. Got it. Right, so what you could do is you could tally all this up if you wanted to, right? And almost get honestly a breakdown of their caloric intake, but why they're not losing weight. You can also go, you're like, you know what you're doing every single day? You're spending $27.50 approximately a day, okay? Per day, okay? I know these are like the small things, like the small things are part of your craft. But if you study your craft, you can do this really well. So you can go, man, they had the Starbucks, then they had this chef special, then they had dinner, then they had some vending machine. They spend $27 a day. I don't even lose weight, feel great, but you can be saving, what, $20? A day. Not a day. It's crazy. So that can be something if you want to implement it, feel free, but I don't use it anymore, honestly. Okay. Good? Any questions on it? Yep, Mike.
I just have a question of follow-up. So you have them follow up with you Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, but what exactly does that look like from week 1 and maybe an example for week 3? What are they actually?
I mean, honestly, so I'll set them up to the point where I just want them to tell me what's going on. I go just every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, tell me what's going on. Tell me what's going on. My initial out message, if I ever do one, right, is the same one all the time. Like if I find people so there's going to be people that just don't do it. They're going to follow you on Tuesday, okay? And when they don't follow with you, what I do is I make a message to one of my clients that's like a powerful message. Hey, what's going on? I didn't hear from you on Tuesday or whatever it is, right? I didn't see your prep pictures on Sunday or whatever, right? Whatever it is, the message, it's the same message. I make it kind of vanilla. They're going, hey, I haven't heard from you, blah, 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 this and that, and blah. That one message goes to all the people who didn't follow me. I don't make a new message. There's an option on Voxer called forward, right? So you can forward the voice one, or if you type it, copy it, and just go paste, 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 paste. This is like a machine, right? So you don't have to leave a special one, hey girl, and the next one you leave it to a guy, hey man, like, just send the same one, hey, what's going on, blah, 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 bang. You just copy and paste it. Right? The way you manage 40 people, you got to get them and then learn how to go, okay, now I'm trying to get this thing down. I'm trying to get this thing to go. So I don't really give any specific instructions. Where it comes to me to do one-on-one and really customize in my follow-up is after they talk to me. Then the conversation actually starts. Right? The conversation actually starts once they talk to me. Like, so my guy Joey in New Jersey, he's like, hey, hey Khalil, I'm doing all right, man. Last couple of days have been kind of hard for me to use the restroom, but so far so good. Yeah, man, just want to check in. It's Tuesday. You told me to check in on Tuesday. I mean, who would want that?
No.
Does anybody want that?
Yeah.
That's the best thing in the world. You can ask Alicia, right? We live together. I never go, hey, it's Tuesday, following up with you, hope all's well. Never do I do it. Never. Unless they miss it, right? And when they do miss it, I talk to them about the analogy from the beginning. When I talk about follow-up, you guys have heard this a million times. This is tennis. The game of tennis. I hit the ball over the net. You hit the ball back. I hit the ball over the net. You hit the ball on. I hit the ball over the net. You don't hit the ball back. Game over. Right? So I go, you got to hit the ball over the net. The initial conversation is that's the beginning. Everything that you do now, I'm receiving. Because it makes my time so much easier. If they don't do it, I know to go on Tuesday and look through all my clients and go, oh, well, I guess so-and-so didn't follow up, which is really, really simple. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's a real simple way of doing it. My follow-up, I'm telling you, you can first and foremost eliminate a lot of people from like worrying about them if you just follow them that way and put the onus on them, right? Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, you follow up with me, not me follow up with them. It just makes it so much easier, and you get to manage your time a lot better and not have to really worry about stragglers. If you go to their message on Tuesday, and it's still the one that you talk to them about, and there's still that picture from, Sunday, you know they haven't followed with you. Tennis. And I just remind them, I go, hey, tennis. That's really my message. Hey, tennis. I just ball to you. In the message. What more do I need to say? I said it all up here. This is dating. All right? This is dating. You let people know what you'll deal with early into dating. At least I do. Hey, nope, not going to go for that. That's not going to happen. Sorry. Don't do that.
Is there a certain time frame you give them to respond before you send that message out to
They have
them?
a whole day. I mean, they have till Thursday usually. So if I'm not looking real smooth, dude. But they have till Thursday, right? And they have till Thursday, right? So if they follow me on Tuesday or they haven't, then I'll wait till Thursday and go, hey, I haven't heard from you. It's just so rare. There's nothing special about me besides I like to master my craft of talking to people. Everything is done in the first 10 minutes of me working with them. After that point, I have to do nothing. Everyone has had a job. Everyone's had a job here? Yeah. Everyone's had a job, right? It came with a job description. Right? And these are requirements that you must do. There's no talk anymore. This is what you gotta do. You gotta show up on time, you gotta wear this suit, you gotta do this, you gotta report here, you gotta do this, make these many copies. You work with Kinkers. Okay? You gotta make many copies. You gotta make many copies. You had a thing that you had to do. This is what I do in the first 15 minutes, maybe. It might even be less than that, maybe 7 minutes. Is the setup of everything. Now, from now on, they know this is what I'm dealing with. This is the person I'm working with. And they start to see your Instagram or your pages and what you do, damn, this person, they actually have a big deal. They're really helping people. So it's just in the setup. Everything is in the setup. So if I see it on Tuesday, the same message that they didn't leave, I go, very well, you didn't follow up. I just say, thanks.
My question to you, where does them weighing their self in and tracking their measurements come in at? Do you still do that? And is that part of their Sunday prep, or is that
It's not.
Tuesday?
So if you watch the Women's Profile Training? Okay. So watch it again, because what I do is I don't worry about any of those things personally. Your coach tells you something different, do that. Okay? All I care about is weight and pictures. I don't care about anything else. I just don't care. I don't care about how many inches you lost. I personally don't care. But it's only 30 days. They are going to get into stuff like inches and muscle gain later. I don't care about those things because most people can't do this. They can't do 30 days on the point. I don't worry about inches. Measure this, measure that, measure that. Now, there's something that is valid about measuring your body. Okay? I used to have people have strings. I'll have them get a string, measure their waist, cut the string, and they'll write waist on it. I'll have them measure a leg with a string, cut it, and they would use that same string to measure the leg again, and they would go, man, it's about 2 inches smaller. So it's an easy way to do it, but I don't do it anymore. All I worry about is pictures, front, side, and back, and your weight. I'll see your weight on the scale, I want to see your totals on the scale. So most of my pictures are like this. That's the ones I get from my clients. They're always like this, always. And I see the number in the middle, I see their weight, usually the front one, side one, if they have somebody in their house. If not, their back ones are always contorted, okay? And I don't care. I go take the same contorted picture that you took 30 days ago. When their second order arrives, right, there's a lot being said in this, okay? When their second order arrives, meaning that they got it back on the phone, they said they need to reorder. When it arrives, they're like, man, I'm feeling great, blah, blah, blah. I go, awesome. When the products arrive, you get to weigh yourself again. I don't allow my clients to continue to weigh themselves over and over and over and over and over and over. It's like watching ice melt. You're like, is it doing it or is it not doing it? What's the point? Just go from 1 day to 30. Then the next time they get their products, you go, this is another day 1 of your 30. I talk to people in 30-day increments because it's more digestible. Again, just imagine someone's like, you know what, you got to go to school to get your degree. You got to go to school for 18 years. You got it. Now, you all know kicking and screaming and going to school your first day. You're like, I hate school. And you ever have those days where you're like, I hate school? Can you imagine your parents like, you know you got to go to school for 12 more years? You're like, damn, 12 more years. So don't give people that big, massive piece. Go 30 days. Hey, all you got to do is get through the week. All you got to do is get through the week. All you got to do is get through the week. All you got to do is get through the week. People work better in small things, right? In small timelines, especially when it's something different, right? So does that make sense?
It does, because I was doing a lot of busy work because my coach had me send those numbers, so I have 5 clients that send me numbers every
Right.
Monday, and I'm sitting there trying to track it in the
No,
Excel
I don't do
sheet,
any of
just
this.
spending my time.
I mean, for what? For me
So that was
personally.
very
That's just me personally. I just do weight, front side, and back. Weight, front side, and back. Weight, front side, and back. It's just so simple. Again, you guys understand that my time is valuable, yes, in my craft and what I do. My time is really valuable going to lunch and dinner with June Shalise, and I love going to Vegas. I'd rather do other things. I just know that this is the thing that builds my business, so I get really, really efficient at my craft. Very efficient at my craft. Yes.
So you find it's better just to have them weigh themselves only the first time and then when they order their second time?
Yeah, well, I mean, I personally, this is just my advice. This is what I do. I wouldn't do, I mean, you can do it if you want, but I personally don't think, there's not a lot of change oftentimes from week 1 to week 2 to week 3, because the change is incremental. Now, imagine you took all the changes and just said, here's all your changes, here's all of them. Right, so I give as soon as a client gets their second box, I say, take a picture of the box, and then send me your 3 pictures. They already know what to do because I gave them the directions, right? The directions and the commands is what they're going to do. They don't know any better, right? It's like, don't be afraid to talk to somebody because they don't know anything. They came to you, right? If you're one step ahead of them, you're always in front of them. That's just how it works. So I don't do that. I just do 30 days. I go, first day, take your measurements. 30 days later, hey, in the morning, make sure you take your measurements, front side, back, pictures. take your weight, front side, back, pictures. So that's what we do, right? So vouchers is going to be a big deal for you guys. If people don't want to get vouchers, don't work with them. Unless you have another way that you want to work with them, but I personally won't work with you. If you don't get voucher, I don't work with you. Let's see here. I have a lot of notes on this stuff. Oh, by the way, just a reminder. People quit. Newsflash, right? Newsflash, people quit. So don't be like, oh my gosh, that person keeps quitting and blah, blah. I would also, if you find that you're having a lot of people quit, go back to your basics. Did I do this with them? Did I let them know before they get in my bed that we must go to dinner, we got to go on some dates, you got to take them to the movie, you got to meet my mom first, got to meet Pop, right? Got to be Big Mama. You got to meet all these people first before we get in my bed. Some people go, nah, you can just get in the bed. But what happened? Why did they quit? It might just be them. You might do everything right. It might just be them. But more than likely, it probably was you. Right? It probably was you. Okay? So keep that in mind. People do quit though. Right? People just quit. People come back too. There's no the massive mystery of what we get to do is that we work with people. Most unpredictable thing on the planet. Right? It's just unpredictable. You don't know what they're going to do. People are just random. So people quit. Okay? How do I track my clients? Okay, so if you are working with 1 or 2, you got to figure out how do you track these people. And I'm telling you, make it simple. Be simple about all this stuff, right? Be simple, all right? One of the best gifts in the world is make something so simple. Just make it idiot-proof, okay? I'm your biggest idiot. Stay in the front of me. Teach you wrong. How did I get in this position, right? You're like, how did I get in this position? I don't know. Make it idiot-proof, okay? So that's what I do every single day. All right, so every single day, and when I go out of town, for those who go, what am I out of town? Take a picture of it. Take a picture of it, right? This is on my dry erase board every single month. You guys get the point, all right? It's clients, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. That's it. It's my whole follow system right there. All right? I got my clients. I got Mike. That's what I do throughout the week. Follows up with me, I go, damn, it's genius, ain't it? Cold. That's cold, Jude, ain't it? Cold. Let me put you up there, Jude, because you was good. You know what I'm saying? Cold. Bang, right? They follow me on Thursday, right? Bang. Done. Okay, great. Awesome. I move on. All I do on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday is go to my thing and go, at the end of the night, I just look at my board and go, Mike, no, you follow me. Jude. Yes. Okay, got it. Right. And what happens sometimes is that you'll find this happen. It happens, right? I want to make sure I at least get 2 contacts from me a week, but this happens. And at the end of the week, that's what I do. Start all over again. That's why it's a dry erase board. It's dry and you can erase it, okay? You just go back up there. And then when someone doesn't do any of these, it's blanks all the way across, right? Okay? So it's blanks all the way across, Virgil. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to follow up with me or nothing. Okay, we got them 3 blanks. That's what I do with the person. I'll leave them a last message. Hey, it was really good talking to you. When you are serious, let me know. Best of luck. You think you're not going to call me today? Every single time they go, oh, no. Hey, you got one more week, and then after that, I'm done. Take my craft seriously. Go make a doctor's appointment and not show up to the appointment. You get a bill. You know why you get a bill? Because a doctor's time is valuable. And if your time isn't valuable, guess how much they value your time? They don't. How much they value getting in your bed. I'm going to keep putting in these terms because everybody understands those terms. Okay? Don't let people get in too fast. Let them go through the necessary steps to be able to crawl before they walk. Right? So how do you manage 40 clients? Chelsea, this is one of the things I do. Right? I manage them this way. It ain't much more for me to do. I typically if I ever have to send an outgoing message, it's the same vanilla outgoing message. Haven't heard from you at this time, blah, blah, blah. Look forward to hearing from you on Tuesday or Thursday, whatever it is. All right? Whatever it is. So that's how I manage 40 clients, because you get to work with your time really, really easy, because it ain't really much you're doing. They're doing the follow-up. They're sending you the pictures. Where you become a coach is what they say in the message. And you can prompt them to ask some questions. How are you making your shake? What's going on? How are you feeling? You can ask those questions once they do their part, but all I want to do is get in the rhythm of doing their part. I got a message just now, so during sweat, my phone went off and it said Joey. Now I'm sure that he's probably telling me something, but he already followed me on Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know why he's talking to me on Saturday, but it's something, right? All I know is that he's been asking me and telling me about this guy at his department. He's a police officer. That's been asking him about the Kool-Aid he's been drinking. Well, he probably got a person for me, right? But whatever reason, he might just be elated. He might just be happy. So like he knows the rhythm so well that he knows Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. And when he doesn't do it on Tuesday, when I hear from him on Thursday, he's like, "Hey man, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. I know you don't play those kinds of games, right?" Like, and I'll let people know a healthy mix. Like, yeah, I do cut clients, by the way. I want to make sure that I always say I want to make sure that you are serious enough for me to take you on as a client. I want to make sure that you are serious enough for me to take you on as a client. Everything, you guys understand I'm holding all the power back. It's all mine because it's the truth. It's not to diminish someone else. It's so that you get to live your lifestyle and run your business, right? Having your craft be mastered. So you guys understand slow is fast? Does that make sense? All right? Don't let people get bed for too early, okay? Just take it slow. It's all good, okay? Picks and wins. The frenzy started with the one at a time. So like the frenzy was 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7. It's a compound effect, right? It's like doing one thing, all right? For those who haven't read the Compound Effect, great book, The Slight Edge is kind of that same principle. Doing one thing over and over until you master it, like constantly doing those things over and over. Is this all making sense?
Yeah.
You guys with me?
Yeah.
I'm boring the hell out of you.
No.
Taking med.
I think a really key point to that too is having the daily action. Like you're talking about compound effect in that matter, is that one thing I think we need to understand is that close the daily action every single day to create that type of momentum to get 4 to 5, 5 to 6. You know what I mean? The follow-up was set, the foundation was set, but it was talking to people every single day.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing that we fall trapped to, is that we'll do a lot of action, nothing will come from it, and then we're like, oh, I don't know, and then we stop, and then it's like, okay, I'm hyped up again, I'm going to do a lot of action. The compound effect is daily action every day.
Yeah, every single day. And it's awesome to be working in your business. I mean, it was nonstop. It just was nonstop. I mean, Alicia was sitting there witnessing it firsthand when we were living in our little apartment on Van Buren, right? Don't get it twisted, we was on Van Buren. Van Buren. I think you were strolling out there one time. We were on Van Buren living in our little apartment every single day. I would come home and I'd be in the lawn store while I walked in the house. But she was witnessing it because every single day we were doing something. And it all started, even though I don't care about what, the activity you do, make sure you're doing it every single day. Find something that you do every day. Whatever it is. It's just something that I'm going to get one face-to-face contact, just one a day. Just do it. It'll eventually show up over time. But what we were doing prior to all this stuff and all everything that we were doing, before any of these things took place, before wellness profile, before anything happened, you guys know what we did before we left the house. We woke up, made our day, shake Tapper's tea, personal development, and worked out. You can't mess with us. I get so emotional about it because people don't know the little things you gotta do to make your craft good. Like, how can you expect to be good at what you do if you don't do the little things? It just doesn't make sense. So if you're like, well, I'm kind of foregoing that, but I expect to get clients, you're not gonna get them. And when you do get them, you're gonna be such in terrible shape, you can't speak to anything. You're like, it makes me emotional because I know how much time it took. People look at you and go, man, you're successful. They don't know what it took to be successful. And you just popped out the womb fresh, ready to go. right? That's not how it happens. It takes consistent work every single day, and you're not going to get there. You're not going to get there. Maybe the first person to tell you, bust your bubble. You're not going to get there. If you don't do the little things where no one saw the people, no one saw us making our bed every single day. No one saw those things. No one saw it. No one saw the fact that we was doing personal development every single day and working out every single day, right? Making sure we left the house at a certain time every day, every single day. So before all this stuff happens, make sure you get right with you before you try to go talk to somebody else. Because you might as well be worthless if you go out in the world and go, yeah, I just woke up, just finished watching Popeye, about to step out the door. Got to be old to know Popeye, right? You can't do that. You can't just go wake up, out and go to work. All right, now just get right first. All right, it takes something to it. Top performing athletes practice before they play. Practice before you play. Okay, so the compound effect every single day. Don't be a product pusher. Okay, newsflash to everybody. Don't be a product pusher. And what I mean by that is I sell plans only. Only. Hey man, I really want to get that rose guard. I have now allergies. Awesome. That rose guard comes with 2 meal replacements, Say-Laws, normal tea. We'll follow up on Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. Make sure you send me a prep. Nothing gets sold just one. I don't sell just one-offs. Unless you are already a client and been ordering from me, right? Then you can get a one-off. But in the beginning, you just don't come up to me like, yo, man, how'd you get just this scanner stuff? Just this? I sold this. Yeah, you can do that. It comes with. Right. You get what I'm saying? Every time somebody asks me a question, like, yeah, can I get this? I'm like, what you need it for? Oh, man, you know, this is my joints are joint support, right? Oh, man, joints are very awesome. Okay, you can definitely get it, man. So, it comes with. Follow up to the Sunday, make sure you send me pictures. I can say it so much, but I say it so much. Can you not say your favorite song? Right? Somebody knows Rapper's Delight by heart. Okay? Somebody knows that song by heart because they heard it so many times. I said it so many times, the same thing. Every single time I say the same thing. And looking like, really? Yeah, I mean, unless you want to get started on a plan, I can't really help you. I had a girl who told me 2 years ago she used to be a distributor. She was like, oh, I really love the tea. I just love the tea. Can I just order a tea from you? She was like, I'll order 4 teas from you. I was like, damn. I can really use that volume right now. 4 teas would be perfect, right? I'll take 4 teas. Who would not take 4 teas, right? But I was like, you know the 4 teas come with it. She's like, well, I used to be a distributor, so I know all those things, but I just want this. I said, well, honestly, I can't help you. I can't help you. She was like, Khalil, you can sell them. I was a distributor. I know. Well, you don't know me. Right? Like, sorry. Me and my crew, we get down a little different. Right? We do things a little bit different where I'm from. So this one only comes with 3 teas, but that 4th one come with this package of them to make sure you get it. Right? So those things are big to make sure you're upholding that. Don't be a product pusher, because what people start to do is that the second you sell them one product, what they do is then they'll sell one product. And you're like, well, how come my person that's a brand new member can't get a supervisor? Because they are selling 1 tea. They're selling 1 tea, not every day. They're selling 1 tea once a month. They're never going to get the supervisor. Never. Okay? So product pusher. Before and afters are proof. Huge proof. So after those 30 days, I have them take their pictures when the product shows up at their doorstep the second time, which means they've been in a full retail client for 2 whole months. That means I've had them in my presence, right? I'm going into my next 30 days. So at the end it'll be 60 total days of them working with me, right? I can tell you guys my cousin, okay, my little cousin, he's been on a plan now for his 3rd month. His first 2 months were full retail. I don't care if you are my blood, you will pay the full price. Kerry came into business, right? My college roommate, right? I called him out and said, hey, Kerry, the plan is $200. I didn't know what I was talking about. I need you to send me $200. He's like, oh, no, $200. He didn't even think. All right, I sent him. $200. Done. Now, I didn't know what I was doing, so he got charged $10 actually. But the fact is that I set him up early, and he will do his prep pictures every single Sunday. Now, at some point when they become coaches, you kind of let them go like, great, you guys can do it on your own. But until they become that person, and now he's like, my cousin should finish out senior consultant, or I hope he does anyway. He's at 236 buying points, but he understands the value of what's going on. He understands that he just can't just get it how he wants. And now that he does in fact have the discount, he now values, like, yeah, this is crazy. I got to order more products. And I was like, yeah, let me talk to you something about senior consultant. It's up to you whether you want to do it or not, up to me. I'm going to tell you miles is for your products, or however you phrase it, however you phrase senior consultant.
What does your reorder conversation look like for those clients?
It's not much of a conversation, to be honest with you, Marcus. I go, awesome, so, you know, we've been talking every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday. That's awesome. Make sure, and usually about week 3, and I can tell you guys, I don't actually keep the weeks on my thing. There's a certain, like, you almost get a natural alarm in your head. Like, I've been talking to this person for a while, they're probably about to order. So I just usually go in, hey man, track your, take inventory. I go, take your inventory. And I usually just say it or I'll text it, I'll go, take your inventory of your products. I go, if you can shake it and see the bottom of it, it's time to reorder. There is no conversation. You guys, I'm not asking anything, right? I'm giving all commands. Hey, check your products to see if you can see the bottom of them. Right? Like shake the canister to see if you can see the bottom of your thing. If you can, it's time to reorder. There's no conversation. That's the conversation. Like you guys might be like, hey, you know, I know you've been doing well. You looking to order? What's the point of the question? I already know they've been doing great. They've been doing awesome because I've been talking to them. Right? So it's like there's no question. It's not even a question. It's only an assumption. I know my stuff works, so I know you're gonna come back. So I don't even ask the question. It's not even a question. It's simply a, hey, check your products. Make sure they're good. Let me know if you can see the bottom of the canister. If you can, it's time to reorder. We'll hop on the phone and get your. We'll hop on the phone and pick out your flavors. There's 0 questions in it. I'm not asking. I really don't need to ask questions. And it's funny that I don't understand the point of me asking the question. I know you want it. Let's just go ahead and get this done. So I always ask that. I'll tell you your wellness profiles too. If your wellness profiles are sloppy, everything else will be sloppy. Who are you attracting? Okay? Who are you attracting? So just know that if you're not doing the 5 things at the beginning of the day, or at least get personal development at some point in the day. I personally do it in the morning, but if you're not doing it at some point in the day, who are you attracting? If you consider yourself a 10, right, you're attracting 9s. So if you're a 10 in your life, which is the highest you can go, you're attracting 9s. You typically don't attract the person that you are. You attract the person that's less than you that is pulled by your light. You're like, oh my gosh, I want to be like that person, so they follow you. Now, if you are a 4, you're attracting 3s, right? Does this make sense what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Right? You always attract, like the person you really can't be attracted to something that's lesser than you usually. You're like, no, I'm good, like, I'm above that. Like, I'm good. But you always go, man, I want to be like that, so you'll move towards those things. If you want to be a 9 or an 8, I really don't believe there's any 10s in the world, but let's just say you want to be an 8. You got to grow yourself to be an 8 to attract 7s, because when you attract 7s, what do a 7s attract? 6s. So you can see how fast, when you duplicate in business, how fast you can have 8s and 9s up here, right? And start attracting as you get deeper in your business, right? You're like, well, damn. So you want to attract you want to be the strongest, so you attract the strongest business. You get what I'm saying to you? Yeah. The weaker you are, the closer you are to attracting 0s. Nobody wants a 0, right? So you got to grow yourself in attraction, right? However, which way you want to do that. Grow yourself in attraction, 9, 8, so you can get 7s, 6s, 5s, right? There's no, the lineage continues as that goes on, okay? I'm going to ask you, does it make sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
What we are, honestly, so a lot of things that really attracted me to the business was hot people making money, having fun in tank tops. It was hot people making money, having fun in tank tops. That was really what attracted me to the business. Hot people making money, tank tops, and they were making their own schedule. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like, I went out to the beach, and I met Laura, I met Heather, I met Style, I met Aaron, I met Val. I was like, there's some good looking people on the beach making their own schedule. Right? Santa Monica Beach. Santa Monica. I'm like, I can't believe this. They're just making their own schedule, living life happy, looking good. I was like, this is great. It's just what attracts you to the business, right? We have that here. We're not on the beach, we have that. Hot people, making money, right? Making their own schedule if you're full-time, right? But this is the way to freedom, okay? I had a conversation with Antonio, I had a conversation with Sean, I had a conversation with Carrie, okay? And I had a conversation with John. People who are that were free before and then went back to work, going worse, right? I could imagine that a runaway slave who got to the north that tasted the sweet victory of freedom and had to be put back into slavery, it had to be different. Because you don't understand freedom until you have freedom, right? You don't understand the sweet, savory deliciousness of freedom until you have freedom. And then somebody goes, you gotta go back to captivity. That's the worst feeling in the world. It's the worst feeling in the world to go back to captivity. And I talked to Carrie because I said, Carrie, don't get all dressed up, go on all these interviews and do everything to volunteer to be in captivity. That's what we do, right? That's what we do. We work our tails off to go volunteer to be a part of the slavery. Come on, man. Just be hot, have fun, make your own schedule, right? Live your life of abundance. Like, it's not really hard if you choose to do your 5 wins in the morning, and if you choose to study your craft, if you choose to hold posture, if you choose to believe that fast is slow, right, or slow is fast, right? If you choose to believe those things, then they can work for you. If you don't, no problem. Be a part of the regular world. Now, there's nothing wrong with the regular world. You can live fine, you can live
Super fine.
Okay? You don't know that reference? You might want to listen to network building, building your network marketing business, okay? You can live fine or super fine. I'd rather live super fine than fine, okay? Begin, Marcus, do you have anything? Any questions?
Can you tell me the things that you said, what the plan includes? You said follow-up coaching, accountability. What were all the things that you said?
Follow-up coaching, huh?
Enhancers.
Yeah,
network
I need items. I go 2 middle placements. I go those are your middle placements and your enhancers. It comes with accountability, coaching, one-on-one, follow-up, any of those kinds of words that conjure the same thing. Those things are big. I always think about those. Follow up. I just name them all. And I will sometimes go with those. They come with your middle placements, your enhancers. They come with sugar cups so you can make sure you're checking your products up. I'll say the best thing about this all that comes with your plan is you get me. That's the last thing I'll say. If people don't like you, they don't like what you do. Let me just make sure everything's clear. I say this all the time. I don't care if you're trying to save the black dolphin that's about to be extinct or the blue whale or whatever item that you're trying to save. If people don't like you, they don't like your cause. People will follow you before they follow your cause. All right? You trying to save the extinct panda? Okay, great. That's awesome. I don't like you. I'm not saving the panda. You get what I'm saying? That's a big deal. People like you before they like your cause. People follow you before they follow your cause. All right? People follow Jude before they follow S2I. They like Jude. They don't go, I like S2I. I can't stand Jude. That black lemon. I can't stand it, right? People follow you before they follow your cause. So keep that in mind, right? People follow you before they follow your cause. I want everyone, if you can, take a moment to just be childlike, okay? So be childlike for a moment and think about this, okay? If you ever played the game, That's My Car. Has you ever played that game? Yeah. That's My Car? You know what game it is? Gentlemen? Let's say That's My Car if you grew up in the city, okay? Grew up anywhere, at least, I don't know what year you were born, probably 2001, something like that. Right? So if you were born before 2001, right, you played a game called That's My Car. And what you would do is you would sit on your step and you would see cars ride by, and a nice car, you would go, oh, that's my car. Or that's my car, right? You would play this game with your friends, like, that's my car, right? You guys remember this game? Yeah. It was like childlike. And you ever took a trip outside of your neighborhood, for me anyway, maybe your neighborhood was dope and you was like, oh, the house was dope. But you're like, no, that's my house, right? And me and my cousin Ishmael used to get into fights over the imaginary house that we was talking about. I'm like, that's my house. He's like, that house, my house. And Ishmael would play. So, I got beat up a couple times. So, it was just serious, but that childlike wonder was like, that's my car, right? That's my house. Dream again. I used to always see the S550 like, that's my car, I'm getting that car. That's my car. That's really my car. It's crazy what you could do. Just keep showing up. Keep showing up. And I know it's hard sometimes. It's tough, but trust me, it don't come easy. You gotta put a lot of work into this. It don't come easy. It don't come overnight. You gotta put work in. To be a child again and go, that's my car. At least I got proof for a house. I'm telling y'all, I'm about to be like, that's my house. Right? It's crazy to think though. I had a short sale in my house. Right? I had a short sale. Jude and I lived together. We had a short sale in my house. It wasn't a house anymore, right? Marcus came over, I remember him going through my garage and just buying stuff. I was like, I don't want money. I'm done. It's cool to dream again. That's my car. That's my house. Why not? Or you can live the other way. Ain't nothing wrong with living great. It's going to come with work. Y'all see me sometimes like, yo, Khalil, you all right? Yeah, I'm tired as hell. I work my ass off. That's why I'm tired. But guess what? I wouldn't trade it. I wouldn't trade it for captivity. I wouldn't trade it to live somebody else's dreams. I wouldn't walk for somebody else's shoes. I wouldn't trade it. I would not trade it. So if all inspiration that you got today, hopefully it was something. But that's my car. Just think about it. That's my house. And what's your life like? What's your life like? It doesn't take that much work to be great. It takes consistent work to be great. Keep showing up. I know y'all see me tired and irritable sometimes. It comes to territory. It's a lot of people I'm taking care of, right? And I ask you to take care of some people. The way you become valuable in this world is your value to other people, right? I hope that I'm valuable to everyone here. I hope that if I ever disappear, y'all like, damn, it was different when Khalil was here. And I hope that when you go, it was different, but we getting better, right? That's a true sign of leadership, is that when the leadership leaves, it continues to grow, okay? Continue to grow, continue to dream. Hey, that's my car, you know? To do these things. It's just small things. The way you manage 4 is how you manage 10. You got to get them first. All right?